Okay, so we are continuing process of texturing our head. And right now we are working on the neck part. So we are using same techniques that before for the rest of the texture. So the process maybe is not that difficult, but it's time consuming, so you have to be patient. So right now you see we've got these blood spots around the eyes, and I'm trying to fix it. And again, just clone brush to remove this white area and fix some wrinkles. So everything is pretty simple. And I'm going to copy this eye on the second side, blend it with the rest of the texture. And we see now that everything works fine. I'm just checking if there is something wrong, but it looks like this eyelid should be a little bit higher. So I've explained you most of this process in the previous video, so I will be not talking too much in this part because everything is pretty clear. We're using just simple tools and constantly fixing different areas of the texture. So right now I'm going to copy one half of the head texture and mirror it to the other side, and we will check in Maya if everything is on the place. And with the normal map should be fine. And of course we have to mirror also the neck part. So now is the time to make a projection for the back side of the head. Of course we are doing it the same way like with other sides. Currently I'm using Liquify filter to place this photo image. Ctrl E, Ctrl S, and switching to the ZBrush, and we've got our texture on our model. So that's it. We have to just clone the texture and export it to the ZBrush, to the Photoshop. Yeah, and we are going to export it right now. And the same thing, we have to just remove parts of the texture that we don't need, fix glitches and that kind of stuff. So it's of course a little bit of work. So I'm constantly fixing these areas, trying to cover most of our head with texture. And I'm using a lot burn tool and dodge tool. Just to remove some light or just to add some shadows to the texture. I mean add lights and add shadows. Yeah, and right now I've just create a group to put some backup files there, and I'm going to paste to this document our ambient occlusion layers to preview how this color texture will look with this ambient occlusion maps. Right now just checking everything. Of course we've got some glitches in the nose and on the lips, on the eyes. Eyes are pretty good, I think, but there are other areas that need to be fixed. And you see I'm creating this ambient occlusion group, and this is how it looks with ambient occlusion. It just adds a little bit of shadows around the eyes, nose and lips and ears, inside of the ears. So not a big change, but you see the difference. Okay, so right now you see almost completed texture. You see that I've added lots of hair, and we still have to fix some areas like ear, and we will have to work a little bit more on this hair, because in my opinion currently hair are a little bit too dark, and we have to break it a little bit because they look very flat and just too dark to me. And we have to also fix this ear area, so we will be doing this right now. So we are slowly fixing this ear. We have to fix the inside part of the ear and also the back side of the ear. So we have to add some lights and add some shadows in this certain place. And you see I'm using dodge tool and burn tool quite a lot. To make this texture look smooth and clean. And the thing that here is a problem is that I was viewing my texture in Maya in shaded view, and what it creates is just bad looking shadows around this ear, because geometry there is a little bit complicated and the geometry just generates bad shadows, which are not bad unless we've got our normal map on. So it's good practice to turn on a flat view and disable all lights in your scene, and this way you will be seeing really if your texture is looking good on your model. I was adjusting just some shadows on this ear, just checking if this will help. So I was trying right here to blend it with a background a little bit, but I've decided to abandon this idea because this ear become a little bit without life, I would say. It was looking just like a plain color, while I wanted some more stuff going on there, some skin bumps. And wrinkles are nice to have even on this small object like ear. So I've mirrored this to the other side, and I think that's pretty much it, if it is about the ear. Yeah, now I'm just trying to blend this head part of the texture a little bit better with the ear texture. And right now we are trying to clean the back side of the ear. And the big problem here is our hair. We will have to be working on them a little bit more because they are not blending with the rest of the head. And now you see I've got some of this dark hair on the separate layer, so I can easily, with the rubber tool, remove them in this area behind the ear. And our job here is just break them a little bit to not be that density in this neck area. So we will be just using a rubber tool and we will be breaking it a little bit. And of course we have to do the same thing on the other side. And with the rubber I'm just dilating some of this dark hair. Yeah, but I've decided that this is a little bit too much, so I've just used clone brush to create some more hair and recreate a little bit better this round shape around the ear. So it looks pretty nice already. Of course our character will be wearing hat, but I've just wanted to make sure that these hair are also well made. But mostly our character will be with a hat. So same thing, we have to break this density a little bit. So you see right now I'm just trying to fix this part of the texture a little bit, because we have there some bad stretching. So I've just used clone brush, clone the texture, but now we just have to make this hair a little bit density, a little bit less density, of course. So we will see what we've got. And this process is pretty difficult in Photoshop because you have to be really careful, and this is a long process because you've got these two pieces of the textures and there is a seam line between them, and you have to just guess sometimes too much. The perfect way would be using a modbox or Mari software to paint this area in the 3D view. This would be the fastest and the easier way, but sometimes you can get some blurry textures using 3D viewport painters. So because this process is long, I'm not gonna show you the everything. We will now skip this part. So you can see our head is almost done. You can see right now this ear is pretty clear using a flat view. We don't see right now these shadows because of the shading. The shading is turned off right now. And of course, with normal map everything is clear too. So you can see how it looks right now. And again with no light, everything looks pretty clear. One thing about this hair I just want to explain. I just took a top view and this middle texture, and I've blended them together and paste to our texture on the place. I cut off this kind of shape and I was just working a lot on them with simple tools like clone brush and rubber tool, and I've just created our hair. As I said before, they are still pretty too dark, but we will be making just few adjustments to them and you will see it right now. They are lighter, definitely lighter. I've break them a little bit. You see we've got even a scar on our forehead. I've break a little bit this hairline. So they right now looks pretty cool, I think. I've just wanted to achieve this rich guy look because this will be some kind of gangster or rapper, so I wanted to give him this pretty nice haircut. So this is how our final color texture look. And I've added just a little bit of specular to the shader just to see our normal map.